What's going on, y'all? Straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Hit the like button. Sub to the channel if you're not a member. Also hit the notifications to get all of my content, all of my videos. Um, Salute to the whole entire Lions Den basketball and as well as boxing community. Uh, we're not talking either one. We're talking real life situations. I mean, if you want to call it entertainment, that's fine. But I'm not really entertained by this situation for the simple fact of it's 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 very disgusting. Um, and on top of that, we got to understand that it's sad in a lot of ways upon everything that's unfolding in this situation. Before I get this video started, man, let me go ahead and give a couple of shout outs. First and foremost, man, let me give a shout out to Real Talk with Tamara. If you're not sub to Real Talk with Tamara, definitely go sub to her channel. She does have great content, and she has been 100% on this coverage of Dolph this whole entire time since it's happened. I also want to give a shout out to the brother Player Co, aka Street Politics TV. Definitely go sub to his channel. I also want to give a shout out to Cypress TV. Definitely go sub to his channel too as well. Alabama Hitter. Definitely go sub to Alabama Hitter. What's up with it, Matt Moses? And also want to give a shout out to Hood Educated and Big Chap. Big Chap. Definitely go sub to them too as well. And also, last but not least, my brother Ticket TV. Uh, Definitely I got to give a shout out to the brother Ticket TV. I was actually looking to see if Ticket TV was going to cover this, and he never fails you, man. He always comes through. He definitely was able to give coverage on this trial, and he was actually one of the first ones to report uh, the situation that had happened, both with the Young Dolph situation, and as well as the Big Juke situation. So big up to Ticket as well. Y'all all know Ticket definitely doesn't need any introduction, and that's the homie too as well. So salute to him. Uh, let's go ahead and get right into this. All right. And you said straight drop is a monster. All of them were monsters, and nobody's exempt from this situation. Nobody's a bigger monster than the other. Uh, Whether you're an accessory to a murder or whether you're actually the shooter, even if you were the driver, you know what I'm saying, and you kind of knew what was going on. You're just as big as a monster. But let's just go ahead and let's talk about the trial. Everybody was kind of shocked in a lot of ways. First and foremost, that Straight Drop went ahead and suited up. Okay, and the reason why is because the potential of there being a lot of evidence that was getting ready to be presented. We had to understand that, okay, if Straight Drop was to take a plea deal, a lot of people were saying that he was not going to get less than possibly 60 years because of him being a felon already, him being in possession of a firearm, and then also the other previous charges. Now, one of the charges he had already been charged for was the statutory situation or whatever. You know what I'm saying, which is on his record. But as I dive in deep into this, man, he went ahead and he wanted to go ahead and suit up, and now you're seeing all of the evidence unfolding. Now, of course, they called in a couple of people to the stand. They called in Dolph's head of his security, Mr. Blue, um, pretty much giving information on security, how long he had known Dolph and stuff, because of course they were friends and stuff. Then of course uh, Dolph's sister, she took the stand, but everybody pretty much were bracing themselves when Cornelius, Smith, aka Cornbread, had took the stand. Okay, now here's where it gets deep, and here's where it gets really tricky. Okay, really tricky. Now he pretty much had spilled the beans on everything, just like they had already from jump start had already been talking about CMG and talking about Big Jook. Okay, he pretty much has unfolded everything and pretty much had told everything, and it was the witness as to who unfortunately took Dolph out. Okay, and now you have a situation now, and we all know, of course, what's going to take place tomorrow is two key people that are going to take the stand, which is Hernandez Govan and of course Jamarcus. Okay, now a lot of people are wondering what Govan is going to say. I'm here to tell you, Govan is pretty much probably going to spill everything. Okay, the way that Cornelius, he had pretty much told everything. I mean, that he pretty much brought everything down too light. And then on top of that, the fact that, okay, of course they they put 100 racks up for Dolph, Jook did or whatever, but the issue became where they were supposed to split it 50-50, okay, 50K for Cornelius, 50K for Straight Drop. No, Jamarcus is, not Marcus. Marcus is Marcus Thornton, who that's Young Dolph's brother. Remember, remember Matt Moses. This Jamarcus Johnson is Straight Drop's brother. Yes, you're right about that. But Marcus is Young Dolph's brother. Okay, so we got to remember that there's Jamarcus and there's Marcus, but Marcus and everybody was salute to Marcus, man. I got to stop there for a minute. Now in the video, see, a lot of people were wondering if Marcus, actually stood up for Dolph. There was a lot of people that were sitting there trying to say that, he didn't do anything and all this other stuff or whatever. He didn't try to have his back and all this other stuff. No, that wasn't the case. The video showed Marcus, which is Young Dolph's brother, which everybody was waiting on the full video footage. That's what everybody was waiting on. And it showed Marcus coming out with a handgun and actually shooting back, like soldier style. And not only that, he actually ended up hitting Cornelius in the shoulder. Because remember, that's what, Cornelius was talking about, him going to go get, stitched up. He had to go to not an actual doctor. He had to go to one of the hood doctors and stuff. Yeah, no, it's all right, man. It's all right. I mean, everybody's emotions right now. The only names that people are really focused on is Dolph and Govan and Juk, of course. Of course, Juk is no longer with us. But the thing about it is you gotta give a salute to Marcus for having his brother's back like that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they had their suspicion. Well, you definitely can't have your eyebrows raised in this situation because Marcus did have Young Dolph back, as the video did show. Okay, as the video did show, and on top of that, I also want to say this too. They admitted a couple of things. First off, they admitted that the gun that they were using, which was a Draco, you know what I'm saying, assault rifle, which they had no business shooting that. They didn't, from the video. You could automatically tell that he had never shot one before. He even admitted that he had never shot it before. So that was one thing that he admitted. Also, that he was also saying, to my knowledge too, that he wasn't even supposed to had that type of gun. And then also, this is another thing that gets me too, right? These guys didn't even know Young Dolph. They didn't know Young Dolph. His whole goal was to try to get some money so that he could, have for his daughter to have a good birthday, because it was her birthday weekend, to my knowledge. There's other ways of making money, and on top of that, if your idea is to get that amount of money and everything like that, and like one of these get rich quick schemes or something like that, taking out somebody, you really got life messed up, because not only are you gonna always live with that blood on your hands, you're always gonna have that on your conscience, and you're always gonna be looking over your shoulder. And that money that you're spending is pretty much blood money, which can actually be a curse and backfire on you. But I'm not going to get too deep into that, because we're not talking about universal stuff, but it does have to be brought up. Now, you gave away. This is the interesting thing too. Okay. Now, I want before I get to this next thing. Now, Straight Drop, his deal was supposed to be that he was supposed to be the next artist that was supposed to be up and coming, and he was supposed to be that next guy that was up, next in line or whatever, if he had fulfilled his duties along with the 50K. And they had a meeting in Atlanta. Of course, the meeting was to where Govan was supposed to have, because he was recruiting, he had recruited Straight Drop or whatever, and Cornelius just happened to be, because Govan he was a dealer, and Cornelius pretty much was into the pills and all that other stuff or whatever. And so he had, he was always, giving them, ecstasy and stuff like that or whatever. But in terms of Straight Drop, he was supposed to be, handling his business and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because we all know that a lot of people saw Hernandez Govan as the mastermind who orchestrated the whole thing, but it minimizes him in a lot of situations because of everything that's starting to come out. And so they had a meeting in Atlanta, Straight drop, he chose not to do the deal, and go through the deal or whatever, you know what I'm saying, with Hernandez Govan, handling, his business and, pretty much having control of him in terms of working with him and stuff. And so Hernandez Govan had left him in Atlanta. Straight drop had to find his whole way. So there was already kind of that friction there. And so that was one thing to keep in mind. And it turns out that they went ahead, they did what was necessary by taking his man out, only for them to get $800 out of the deal. $800, man. $800. And you got $800, and now you got pretty much, okay, you got actually three guys that's getting ready to be locked up for the rest of their life. And then now you got two guys that are in the soil when we talk about Big Jook and when we talk about Young Dolph. And but pretty much we're talking about Young Dolph because, the Big Jook situation or whatever. A lot of people are feeling like, there's some conspiracy with that situation, which I'm not going to get into. But this goes to show you, this is a lesson for a lot of the youth that's out there. There's better ways of making money. Doing it this way is not it. Doing this way is not it. A lot of you see the the money, you see the bravado, the cars, you see the women, all that other stuff, man, and it's enticing. But don't never let nobody entice you to do anything. All of this could have been avoided by you just saying simply, I don't want to be a part. I don't want no parts of this. Now, do I feel sympathy? Do I feel sympathy for Straight Drop and Cornelius? No, I do not. I don't feel sympathy for them at all. Okay. And the reason why I don't feel sympathy is because, and shout out to Tam. I know she had said that, these guys were young and, in her eyes and in our eyes, we might see babies or something like that. I don't see them as babies. You know why? Because after the age of 21, you are a grown man. Now, after 18, you're a grown man. And if you feel like you want to jump off the porch at 15, 16, 17 years old or whatever, then hey, you finna jump in the jungle. And you chose to do that. If you having kids at like 15, 16 years old, if you sticking your pipe into a woman or whatever, and then you conceive a kid, hey, that's when you're gonna be a man. You're gonna be rushed into manhood. So I don't feel no sympathy. Basically, what I'm saying is you had enough conscience. You have enough consciousness to sit up there, load up whatever weapon that you have, and to pull that trigger. Okay, you had the conscience to do that. So I'm not going to sit up here and feel any sympathy for somebody who is about to pay the consequences for actions that they know is wrong. And taking somebody's life, and look, I know, we all know that Dolph, a lot of people feel like Dolph had played a part in it, in what had happened because of the song that he had made or whatever. Now, do I feel like Dolph had deserve what he got? No, absolutely not. I mean, if anything, they should have just, just kept it on the wax. But a lot of people feel some type of way due to the fact that, that song cut kind of deep of, the diss songs that he had made. You know what I'm saying? And some guys really can't handle that. Some guys feel like their reputation is on the line, their name is on the line, this, that, and the third, or whatever. But in this trial, man, it's not looking good because CMG and Juke has been named. And I'm going to tell you something. They haven't named Gotti, okay? I mean, Gotti's name came up like once or twice or whatever, but it hasn't came up in like, okay, yeah, Gotti is the one. But it's going to be interesting to see what Govan is actually going to say. What is he going to spill? Because the way I see it, it might turn into a situation in which what we're going through right now with P. Diddy. Is it gonna be a Nino Brown type of situation that's gonna happen? That's what we have to look at. Now, me myself personally, it's gonna be interesting to see what truly takes place. I'm interested in seeing what Govan is gonna say. I'm not really interested in what Jamarcus is gonna say, and I'm interested to see what other evidences are being presented, because now, I mean, you might as well just go ahead and kiss your life goodbye when we talk about Straight Drop, and of course when we talk about Cornelius, but definitely Straight Drop, because you have chose to go full throttle with this thing. You chose to suit up and everything, so now you chose to go full throttle. All that evidence has placed you at the scene, and everything is pointed in your direction. Pretty much, man, the case in my mind is already over. The only matter is if there's other bigger parties involved. Now, they did name Juke as the number 2. What's up with it, Alex? I see you in here. They did name Juke as the number 2, and a lot of people want to know who is that number 1. And already people are speculating, of course, that it's Gotti. But I'm not quick to be a prisoner of the moment and automatically say, oh yeah, it was Gotti or anything like that. Like I said, we have to wait and see. Everybody got their day in court, but everything is coming out. A lot of info has came out. Matter of fact, this has dominated the internet so much so because it's a more serious case. There's not a lot of childishness that's going on like the Young Thug, the whole Young Thug fiasco. You don't see like little Woodies in court, and you don't see this going on in court, and you don't see that going on in court. Yeah, like a lot of buffoonery and a lot of foolishness. You don't see any of that. This is a very serious case. Now, the lawyer, the lawyer that Straight Drop got, I mean, he's getting criticized, but the thing about it is that he doesn't really have any leg room because of everything that's being presented. I mean, he's pretty much in the ring with no gloves on. I mean, if that makes any sense, because there is so much that, there's no way to defend this. There's no way to defend this at all. So, I mean, I can understand, like, some of the comments that they were saying today I mean, they were really going in on the lawyer, man. But I mean, what can he do? What can he do? What's up with the think tank? I see you in the building, man. What can he do? There's absolutely nothing that can be done in this situation. Everybody is waiting for tomorrow. I know I'm anxious to see what Govan. Listen, pretty much everybody gonna want to get through the nonsense, and they want Govan, Hernandez Govan, aka Orange Mound Quet, to go ahead and take the stand. They're anxious to see what's going to happen. Is is there going to be some more people that take the to take the fall for this? Now, it's interesting because a lot of people were looking for a third shooter that was in Makita. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people were looking for, I know that there was a narrative about, there was a U-Haul and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? None of that stuff happened to be in the video. You know what I'm saying? From what's being presented or whatever. But they pretty much showed everything. They showed him going, to the place and changing his clothes, all this other stuff or whatever. And a lot of people feel like there should be some other people, like his baby mom or whatever she is, she should be involved too. But I'm like, a lot of people were like, yeah, you should lock her up too. But what if she really didn't know what was really going on? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, a lot of these guys, they try to keep their, baby moms, their wives out of the business or whatever. So I don't really agree with that. You know what I'm saying? She probably was just helping him out. She probably thought it was just a random shooting or whatever because, like he said, he has been shot before. He has been shot before. But just to give a whole recap on the whole thing, man, I just think it was just a senseless act of violence, man. We all know what goes down in the streets and stuff like that, man. But in this situation right here, the fact that you only got $800 out of the whole thing, and on top of that, you about to do life in prison, you've pretty much gotten a double whammy. Like, why not go make your money doing something else? There's lots of ways that you can make money, man, if you put your mind to it. But taking somebody else's life, just to get a quick bag and stuff like that, it's not going to end up good. And you see what unfortunately ended up happening to Juke too as well. You know what I'm saying? In the end, so nobody wins in this situation. Like I said, man, I don't have nothing against neither artist. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to CMG or when it comes to PRE, I don't have nothing against any of it. Listen, if you got beef, you got beef. But the thing about it is this is what people like, the powers to be, they do want to see stuff like this. They want to see us taking each other out. They want to see us making senseless, stupid ass decisions. That's what they want to see. You gave away your life for $800. $800. You could go get a loan. You could go get a loan for more than that if you got good credit or something like that. Or if you got decent credit, shit, you'll probably get, like, go get if you got a car or something like that. Go do it that way. A title loan or something like that. But man, you taking somebody's life. So you mean to tell me? But see, that's what drugs do to you. That's what drugs do to your mind. That's what type of drug. And I'm not just talking about weed or, Hennessy or no shit like that, but I'm talking about, the fentanyl, the ecstasy, which is what, he was talking about, the perks and all that other stuff. Shit ain't nothing but damaging your mind, man. It ain't gonna do nothing but damage your mind, damage your body, man. It's just like when you look at these meth heads or whatever, you look at a person that before they got on ice or meth or whatever, then you look at them after like a year or a couple months after doing meth, they look terrible. But I just wanted to give my 2 cents. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe, hit them notifications so that you are notified. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment, man. I get at y'all later.